Waziri, two final questions for me, even as we wrap up this conversation. Number one, Kenyans who are watching and who have been following this conversation, the first thing that they want to understand is, do we have a solution? Can we expect fuel prices to come down in the near future or not?
So two things. I would tell you that first, it would also be wrong to raise the expectations of Kenyans to a level that they get disappointed. But I will tell you, and I've just told you we are going to have a meeting. Mm-hmm. Even before the month of April, we had a meeting chaired by none other than the president. Then I chaired the next meeting. That is how we intervened in the month of April. It is easier to stand in a podium and say government should do something. But what is that something? Now, let me come to your answer, to your question and address it.
Yeah.
It is, this government is still working on ways to make sure that we don't, that the fuel prices are at least stabilized and even come down. But the best solution to this is a solution must be found to address the supply chain.
Yeah.
And that can only be either stop the war or at least open the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah.
And who has the capacity to do that? America, possibly with Iran.
Yeah.
Those two countries. It's not the President Ruto. He has no capacity. We have no capacity. Hata tukishout at the top of our voices, yeah, we will not be able to address that. So in the long term, for us to survive, for our economies to survive without much damage, and for people to have relief, the Strait of Hormuz must be opened. Yeah. And resumption of supply of petroleum products get regularized.
And if this prolongs, what is the alternative?
If this is prolonged, it will be desperate times, which may call for desperate measures. Some which may hurt us in the long run, but we may, you know, when you are now surviving, yeah, you may look for ways of survival. I remember during COVID time, we had to look for ways of survival. They were not for the long run, they could not help us in the long run, but in the short run, we had to look for measures of survival. We may even now ask for intervention from World Bank and IMF. Countries which cannot really be able, economies which may not be able to absorb the shock, yeah, may go to IMF, may go to World Bank. That's why they were created. But as at now, we are trying to manage the shock. This is a major shock. Mm-hmm. And this major shock can only be addressed by collectively thinking and being sober and humbling ourselves. Okay. And knowing that our people are facing challenges, what do we do in the short run?
Right.
And it should not compromise our long-term objective as well. Mm-hmm. But in the event that things get so bad, then we will have to resort to desperate measures. Yeah. But more importantly, maybe call for IMF and World Bank intervention in terms of financing some of our development. And then we cut maybe taxes, we remove taxes or cut taxes or whatever it is, or subsidize first.
All right, so Waziri,